Hello and welcome to this session of Talking Tech, Women and Girls in ICT. My name is Ritika, and today I'm delighted to be having a discussion about tech and tech careers with Nino, who is the rector of BTU University, which is one of the most innovative and fast growing university in Georgia. Talking Tech is a series celebrating girls and women in tech. It's being recorded around the world between Girls in ICT Day 2020 and Girls in ICT Day 2022. Girls in ICT Day is an international day marked on the fourth Thursday of each April. The objective is to help create a global environment that encourages young women to consider studies and careers in the field of ICT, that is, information and communication technologies. The Talking Tech series is brought to you by the ITU, UNICC, and the Office of the UN Secretary General's Envoy on Youth, and is in support of Equals, the global partnership for gender equality in the digital age. Hi, Nino, and thank you so much for joining me today. To kick off,
Hi.
yeah, hi. To kick things off, would you mind introducing yourself? Um, so I think it will be better to hear from your own words while you
Sure.
introduce yourself.
Sure. So, hi again. I'm really very happy to be joining you today. My name is Nino Enukidze. I'm the Rector of Business and Technology University, which is one of the youngest and the fastest growing universities in my country, in Georgia, located in the capital, Tbilisi. I'm also the founder of Coding School for Women, which was founded 3 years ago at Business and Technology University to support our country's ecosystem being developed as a technology hub in the region. And even though we have this big strategy of becoming the tech hub, we still face the challenges of a number of girls, women being involved in technology sector. So I am one person with a very big and good team trying to change this ecosystem in a better place and trying to involve as many girls in tech as possible. So this is really briefly about me.
Yeah, so happy to learn about you. I mean, the kind of work that you're doing is truly amazing and very inspirational for me as well. Thank you so much for doing what you are doing and keep on doing that.
Thank you very much. I can tell a short story about the reasons why we founded the Coding School for Women. While we did the research in the country, we wanted to know what is the amount, the percentage of girls making decision to educate themselves in technology while they are going to certain universities. And also we wanted to know what is the number of percentage of females who are involved in technology sector locally in the country and from our country on an international market. We saw that the percentage is very, very low. It's about 18%. And to take into consideration that technology is the fastest growing industry in the world. Technology is not something apart from other sectors, right? So if we are talking about healthcare, agriculture, I don't know, whatever might come up to our mind, in every sector we see technology. So this was really sad to find out that only 18% of women make decision to enter the tech market. We sat and had this brainstorming about what can we do, and we decided to launch the Coding School for Women with support of UN Women Organization, which free of charge was selecting candidates and was teaching them different programming languages. So at first it was challenging because girls actually didn't understand what perspective would they have, why should they join. But today we have fantastic statistics. So later on, I will introduce you to this data as well.
So, what kind of languages do you teach? So, do you teach or do you have like a set of instructors who teaches?
Uh, no, me personally, I'm not teaching because my PhD degree is in business administration and in digital marketing. But as I am leading the coding school for women, we have gathered the best trainers and teachers from across the country and from international market to teach front-end and back-end development, to teach UX and UI design, to teach
Oh, wow.
testing, which is also a very fast-growing industry across the world. We also have courses in advanced digital marketing and so on and so on. So we started from 8 candidates. There were just 8 girls who decided to join us, even free of charge. And we started this active campaign across the regions of our country, not only in the capital, but also in mountainous regions of Georgia. So we started from basic communications, like what perspective does technology industry have? Why should they decide to join this industry? And what is happening to the economy if the 1/2 of the population of the country is not involved in the sector which is fastest growing? So on one hand, we see these social problems, like for example, women not being able to join the workforce from their homes because they have, many children, for example, they have big families. And while you are communicating with them, they are saying that, I cannot leave my children at home throughout the day and my family and go to work because no one else will take care of them. So this is one social problem we faced. And another one is economic problem, which the country is facing, right? So if you have workforce in the country, and 1/2 of this workforce are women, and on the other hand, you have this fastest growing industry, and half of the workforce is not involved in this industry, all the economic parameters in the countries are low. So we started communication with government on one hand and with women on the other hand. So now they are taking these courses online, not leaving their families, their homes, their children for whom they have to take care of. And also they have these international jobs like freelancing or not freelancing, working on international companies from their home offices. They have high salaries and they have big support from us. So, I think so far so good.
Yeah, that's so nice to hear. I mean, of course, like you said, women are not, because of so many problems, they have to manage home, they have to manage kids, and because of that reason, so many times they are not able to move ahead in their career. And if they also join the workforce, it is going to help in the economic development. So your thought is, I'm so glad to know that your thought is not just restricted to teaching, some skills to women. It's more broad. It's like
Yeah.
bringing economic development in the country as a whole. So happy to know what kind of work you're doing. But I want to know, how did you get into technology?
Ah, wow, that's a really good question. It was in 2016 when I was working in one of the state universities, and I met the group of, today they are the founders of Business and Technology University. By the time, they were the group of investors who were thinking about the new ways of launching the university, which would teach not separately different sciences and industries, but they would integrate technologies to everything that would be taught. So I was offered to become the member of the team and to start working on a university, on launching the institution, which did not by the time exist. We decided to start with the research and to analyze what the demand on global market is. And we saw that even if we start teaching different directions of business like finances, management, marketing, and so on, we need to include digital technologies in the process. So I started from that year. By the time there were 4 of us working on this big university idea to be accredited by national and international bodies. It was really challenging, and we worked really 24/7 to make everything happen. But, there was a lot of skepticism while we were talking with different education experts from international markets coming to give some advices to us, that it's a very ambitious plan, and we cannot achieve this plan unless 20 years will pass. Today, the university celebrates almost 6 years anniversary. We have up to 5,000 students, and all of them know have very strong knowledge of technologies, and they not only receive education, but they have number of international opportunities. Like we have accreditation from Amazon, and we integrated Microsoft, IBM, HP, Google, and a number of big tech online teaching resources to our curriculum. So all the time they receive this updated knowledge in technology. And as my profession is not exactly in tech, I am one of the biggest supporters of technology in our country. So this is how I got involved.
So this is what my second question is going to be. What is it that you're doing? I know that you are doing so much. I think you're more like a manager who's managing,
Yeah, yeah.
who's wearing multiple hats and doing a lot of things. But what is it? Is there anything specific that you're doing in technology apart from supporting women?
Well, yes, currently we are working on two very interesting projects. We have several technology laboratories at the university. These labs are Industry 4.0 lab, this is Artificial Intelligence and Big Data lab, there is a blockchain laboratory, there is a deep tech laboratory. So many entities under which we implement international projects for our big partners, international partners. So we started working on different AI solutions. We started working on researching and developing some models for digital currencies in the blockchain lab.
Wow.
And yes, and there are many others which in which I'm personally involved, together with our partners and scientists and researchers. And now we are actually planning a very important event for our country. And I hope that this event will take place due to some geopolitical situations in the region. You know, we have all the confirmations, but still I have some question marks. I hope that this will take place. It's about bringing MIT professors, keynote speakers, angel investors, I mean, resident angel investor students, and a big group of people in May this year to hold the biggest innovations and technology conference in our country. So this is a global startup workshop branded event, which is taking place in different countries across the world, while we will be discussing pretty much the future of technology and bringing up the network for local and international scientists and investors and big tech companies. And I'm very much dedicated for this event to take place, and I hope that it will take place, and I will invite you for the event for sure.
Thank you so
um, but still waiting for some things to get better until we do go on a final planning. Um,
Can
yeah.
you talk a bit about this event? I mean, you talked about there going to be a lot of discussion on the technology. So what is it about?
Yeah, actually, we together with MIT, we were discussing about the brief topic of the conference about what areas should be under discussion while we are organizing workshops, trainings, panel discussions, startup competitions, and many other things. We are bringing keynote speakers. So what about should they be talking? This was the question. We decided that the topic will be digital transformation, as this is affecting not only separate industries, but also global economy in the world. And under digital transformation, there are some different areas we are willing to focus. First is fintech, then comes green technologies and green tech. We have agri-tech, which for our country takes a very big part of our economy. Also, there is health tech, and also there is energy tech. So it mostly comes to green tech also. So these are areas we are willing to focus on. Um, so in our country, for example, fintech industry is growing rapidly. So if you take a look at the startup ecosystem of the country, you see that every second startup succeeding on an international level comes from fintech industry. So this is something we would like to focus on. And I
Yeah,
know
that's
that your background is in UX UI design. Am I correct? So, we have one interesting idea of developing a program, like teaching and training program for international UX UI designers. So I was, as my profession is not UX design, and I know a number of people, wonderful people working in this area. I'd like to know what your vision is. Like, what is the future of digital products while we are designing these products? Like every hour, new digital product comes up to our country. So, what do you envision like the future of digital products while designing them?
I think it's not just the digital products. See, UX has been there since long. UX
Yeah,
is user experience, which means so UX is not it's like a broad term. It means UX
yeah,
research, it means UX design.
yeah,
So whenever you design something, for example, let's just say that when refrigerator came into the market,
yeah,
there was a thought process, that there was an idea first of all that came in the mind of someone who had designed it. But it's not just that an idea comes up and then you build that thing. You
yeah,
have to go through some phases. You have to talk to people about it. You have to validate that idea that, okay, if I'm thinking about having this product in the market, um, is it going to be viable? Is it going to be technologically feasible? I would say that I want to create a portable refrigerator. Let's just say that I can transfer from one place to another place, but is it even viable? So there is a lot of thought process that goes behind it. It means
yeah,
talking to the users, understanding what their real problems are. They want something which can keep their food items fresh for a long time. But do they really need to transport it from one place to another place? No. So idea comes, you have to talk about it to the users in
yeah,
order to validate that idea. Not just that, you have to go into the market to understand what market is doing. So this phase is called as research, which
yeah,
is called user research and market research. Then you speak to the technology guy who are going to ultimately create that product, right? If it is technologically feasible, then only they will be able to move ahead. Sometimes many of the products are not built, because even if the idea gets validated, because we do not have means. For example, let's just talk about going to the Mars.
yeah,
If you think 10 years ago, it was not possible. But now the technology has come to that stage where we are able to move into the Mars. Probably one day we would be able to understand the concept of black holes as well. So it's
yeah,
all about evolving technology. So this entire phase of validating the idea by conducting the research, making sure that the product is technologically feasible, going ahead and creating that product, and again testing it with the users, creating prototypes, and then again
yeah,
testing it with users. This entire process is called as UX research plus
yeah,
design part, and validating it with users again is the UX design. And this entire bunch is called UX. When you do it for digital products, you
yeah,
call it as again, it is again the UX design. But Let's talk about digital products, for example, designing an application.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
when you are designing the screens, this is called UI, user
Yeah,
interface design.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
a broad term which consists of designing for physical products and digital products. So there is so much going on in the US. I mean, it's such a hot
Yeah,
job. There are so many openings, and um, it's whether it's in the cybersecurity space, whether it is about designing application, whether it's designing physical products. There is a lot of focus which is there in the market where people are hiring UX researchers in order to validate those ideas and go ahead with designing these products. So that's why when you said, UX design, you're teaching UX design and UI design, I was so happy to hear about it because I was in this field since start. I started my career in 2013, but I was not really aware of the term UX. It is something which is very new to the market.
yeah,
I
yeah,
used to call myself as a market researcher, but I did
yeah.
not really know that I was actually what I was doing was I was doing UX research for physical products.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so happy to hear from you that you are teaching UX and UI design um, to the women of the country, because this is something which is such a hot field, and there's so many remote opportunities are even available.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and future in UX is very bright with a lot of
Mm-hmm.
competitive salaries as well.
Yeah.
um yeah, it's a great field to get into.
Wow, that's really interesting that by that time you decided to join the field because currently it's really emerging. So while we launched these different courses, I mentioned front end, back end, UX, UI, and many others, there was the highest demand on UX, UI design. And yeah, we saw that, wow, this is a growing industry, which is why people are, right, emerged to enter the market as soon as possible. And also, we did one thing. It was last year when we accredited master's program in Devops, which is development and operations for IT team, which they are doing like simultaneously. And this DevOps term was brought out on the market by Amazon, who said that their digital solutions must be updated every 20 seconds. Can you imagine that? Like every 20 seconds, DevOps engineers are updating something on Amazon. I mean, Amazon Web Services and all the other platforms they own. So we designed this master's program, which is heavily presented by UX UI design also, because whenever you have to update something, you have to know that this will bring a better experience to the user first of all, right? So and this was a unique thing process while we were accrediting it, because no such program exists on the market. Like there are thousands of training and certification courses in DevOps for sure, but there is no qualification like diploma course which gives a master's qualification to DevOps engineers. So we were asked by accreditation experts like, what is what's the idea behind that? Like, why did you decide to bring it like a master's program? We saw that we believe that this would be under highest demand in Georgia and on an international level also. So we today we have up to 100 students, and all of them are employed as DevOps engineers. They have not even graduated yet, So it was a successful idea to bring to the education sector, and I'm proud that we did it at Business and Technology University. So this is something really interesting and really emerging.
Yes, and like you said, they're not even even in US, there are not many colleges who are offering masters or diploma in UX. And even when I wanted to learn, I came from the physical product space, but I wanted to learn about how do you apply the strategies on the digital products and how do you design. I also learned a bit of UI design. So I did it by going through the trainings online. But yeah, there is, I can't say that I do have certifications, but I don't know if it really matters. But having a diploma would be, it has a structured course. It
Yeah.
also helps you to build your portfolio by working on real world problems. You are able to connect with the peers who are better able to guide you on how
Yeah.
do you move along in the process. So yeah, so happy to know that yeah, and like you said that it was you were very skeptical, but I'm happy that it paid off.
Well, you know, everything we do at the university first starts with the skepticism. As I mentioned, even launching the university itself was met by a huge skepticism, as there are many universities and quite successful ones in Georgia. So it was like, why are you doing this? But I see that, you know, we are going in the right direction. We see that thousands and thousands of people, beneficiaries, not only students, but also beneficiaries from these international programs, believe in what we are doing and widely benefit from what we are doing. So I think that this is the right direction to go.
Yeah, so here comes my next question, which is a follow-up of the answer that you just gave. What is it that you really enjoy doing?
Um, it's inclusive education. Something I really enjoy doing is about inclusive education. So there are many initiatives we have, and Coding School for Women is one of the ways to address inclusive education challenges in our country. And but there are many target groups which we want to address. And if we discuss broadly how I envision the future of education to become, it's definitely increasing the number of opportunities for different target groups and addressing inclusive education challenges. And on one hand, we see that, for example, COVID-19 and pandemic situation across the world have increased the number of technology use in the world, right? But at the same time, it also increased the digital divide, the gap between people having an access to internet and not having access to internet. Worldwide, statistics shows that only 60% of people has an access to internet and to technology. So 40% of worldwide population cannot touch the computer, cannot use the internet. So it is wonderful that we are saying that, you know, some teaching and training courses for coding or for, I don't know, UX UI design and all the rest is on the ground. This is free of charge, and we are offering it to whoever registers online. But still, we have not to forget that people have no access to these courses because of lack of access to technology. So as far as we are doing something to address their needs, to address these challenges, and to make inclusive education more accessible to everyone, this is something I am enjoying the most. And this is something which I'm planning to spend years to improve. And we have some kind of plan. This is really challenging because it involves not only academia and private sector, but also government, and not only local government, but international networks and the governments which are in the region around our country. So this is really challenging and promising at the same time.
And I know that you love challenges.
Yeah, I'm trying to not to be scared of them.
So there are a lot of things that you are doing and you have been doing. What would you say is your like something that you are particularly proud of?
Oh, well, there was the first time when we saw for the coding school for women. I mentioned that there were 8 candidates when we first started the program, because no one else wanted to join, to be honest. So 3 years after, we have this program launched together with UN Women called 500 Women in Tech, which is fully funded by UN, and which is fully open to every woman in the country willing to enter the technology as their future career path and as their profession. And while we were planning this, we saw the number of beneficiaries um, previously, taught and trained and being certificated by our institution. And we saw the number of beneficiaries were several thousand already. When we gathered these statistics, by that time, it was last year, I guess, we received the first award called Grace Hopper Award, celebrating the achievements we had within the coding school for women. And this was, to be honest, my first award received while doing something for improving the landscape of tech industry in the country. So I was really proud of that. And it's not about me, it's about the whole team working around this idea, meeting all this skepticism and even aggression from some, families which we communicated with and asked them, explain them why should they be involved here. So it was a good thing to happen. And I'm really proud of this. But 500 Women in Tech is a new initiative. It's a new program. We just started the training, and it will last until the end of this year. And I do hope that this program will make me more proud than anything else.
I'm sure. And I think whatever you are doing is something that you should be proud of, because no one is I mean, there will be very less people who would be doing it. So that's such a good thing to hear, that people like you are there who are thinking about economic development, teaching women, thinking about, so it's all about, it also gives the women confidence. It's
Of
just
course.
not the economic development and teaching them something. It also gives you the confidence and having financial stability as well.
Yeah, sure. And I'd have the same question to you because it always impresses me how people meet the needs, the career needs they have planned years before. So, what can you envision as your biggest achievement in the industry where you work now?
So I think, the work that I'm doing right now, it's more related. I kind of related to the more like a social welfare kind of a thing. So what I'm working on, I'm a part of trust and safety team in YouTube, which means is that our ultimate objective is to reduce the policy violating content. So
Mm-hmm,
there
mm-hmm.
are like multiple, there are like billions of videos that gets uploaded on the internet every day.
Yeah,
And then um, most of it is definitely related to a lot of misinformation. There is a lot of violence that gets uploaded on YouTube. We being adult, we are still able to, we might kind of differentiate between what is misinformative, what is not. But then there are a lot of young kids, adults, who also comes on YouTube and gets exposed to a lot of misinformation, a lot of violence. So I'm a
yeah,
part of a team where we work on some internal tools, which is used by our workforce, which we call content moderators, who uses these tools in order to review all these potentially violative videos, and then they take them down. So whenever you see, that the video has been taken down, the comment has been removed,
yeah,
or the channel has been taken down. So it's that there is a whole back end of ecosystem which is
mm-hmm.
working on that. So
Wow.
I'm working as a UX researcher to make these tools more efficient for them to use. So for example, right now, for example, let's just say that one content moderator is reviewing 100 videos in a day. So my job is to make these tools more efficient, so that instead of just reviewing 100 videos, they are able to review 200 videos. So
Yeah,
my job is to make these tools easier to use and more efficient to use, um, by doing a lot of qualitative user research methods. So I talk to them. I conduct a lot of user interviews. I do a lot of concept testing, prototype testing along with them. So what we are doing is just, it's a part of the to achieve the bigger objective is to make internet a safe space for all the users who are using YouTube for
Yeah.
variety of purposes.
Yeah.
So this is something which I'm feeling. So whenever I wake up, I think like I'm doing something good. I'm
Yeah.
doing something which is a part of bringing making the world much more peaceful and much more yeah. So this is something
So,
that I'm very happy about.
wow, this is very impressive. And you're really making the world a better place. So,
I sure hope so.
congratulations to you. This is really wonderful. This is impressive. I mean, and I totally understand the idea behind that you have. It's not about, doing some kind of job and to earn a living, right? So we all can do something just to earn a living. But if under whatever you do, you are making the world a bit a better place. This is, biggest achievement and biggest motivation you might have. So I'm really glad to hear that you are contributing to this.
Thank you so much. So
Mhm.
let's come back to you and hear about what lessons have you learned? Anything that you want to share, lessons that you learned along the way, that anything that you would like to share?
Yeah, one big lesson I have learned is that whenever you are trying to do something new, something innovative, and whenever you are trying to address a very big challenge, you will be misunderstood. There will be a lot of skepticism around you. And I don't know, maybe it's not the same in every country, but in Georgia, if all this is being implemented and planned by a woman, the challenge is even bigger. So I have learned one big lesson saying that you have to never give up. While you are having the idea which you really believe, you have to do it. Like no matter what challenges will you face, what skepticism will be around you, if you believe that this is the right thing to do, you will find people who also believe in it. These people will become part of your team, and together with big group of people believing in some idea, you will achieve everything you have planned. This is really a hard lesson learned by me because I tried not to give up while it was really very difficult and hard. But somehow we progressed and we achieved whatever we planned to, and it was challenging. Today, my attitude is not so stressed that it was before because I have this experience and I know that yes, while we are planning something new, we know that there will be challenges and difficulties, but I am ready at the beginning. And this was not the case years before. And it was really painful, and I've learned this lesson, and I want to share this experience to everyone who will be listening to us years and years after.
So what kind of challenges did you face? Apart from, like you said, that a lot of skepticism around the kind of work that you were doing. I do agree with the fact that you said, I think it's not just in Georgia, I think it's everywhere, that whenever women is taking initiative, she will be
Yeah,
looked, whenever she's doing, she's moving ahead with the big dreams in her eyes. And if she's alone, she will be looked upon with a lot of skepticism. So
yeah.
any other challenges that you faced apart from this?
Well, Charles Darwin once said that this is not the strongest of species who will survive, but this is the most adaptive to changes who will survive. So, whenever we are trying to meet the needs of today's fastly changing and growing technology industry and innovations market, we try to be as adaptive as possible. But this is where we face challenges, and these challenges come from certain regulations, come from certain mindset, from some cultural beliefs and many other things. So this is just a small list of challenges we might face. And we're trying to address everything separately. Like if it comes to the regulations, we try to work with parliament, with different committees, which are really listening, looking at the research, looking at the data. And if you bring this problem to them and also bring the directions, the roadmap where to go, these challenges might be faced in an appropriate manner. So this is just something you need to work on, address. Bring these answers and not only problems. So it's easy to say that we face problem due to regulations and we cannot do anything. Bye bye. This is not a way to address challenges. You have to bring the action plan, the research, and the proof that this direction is the right way to go, and then people will start listening.
And what career or tech advice would you like to give to young women or young girls who want to probably make a career in tech?
Oh, they will face very big challenges because tech in the world today is heavily dominated by men.
Okay.
So, whenever they will first enter the tech market, they will feel it, and they might be frustrated because of this. And one and only advice I'd like to give to them is that I truly believe that future is female. I believe that there is no industry in the world where women cannot succeed. If men can do something, women can do the same, if not better. So they have to believe in themselves and not listen to every kind of skepticism, and just take their career path, see where they want to go, and just go there. This is one advice I can give based on my experience.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nino. I really enjoyed this session. I mean, you are really an inspiration. I can definitely see it coming from you. You are inspiration for me as well. You are inspiring me to
Oh, thank
to
you so
actually.
much.
I really liked what you said, that just saying that I can't do it because of such and such problem, be it anything, like you said, regulations or anything. You actually have to not give up and keep on moving ahead. That is actually the best piece of advice, definitely.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed communicating with you. I love the things you do, so good luck with that. And whenever and however I can somehow support any girl involving in the tech or currently thinking about choosing tech as their future career path, I'm ready to be contacted and to give my advices or support however I can. So good luck to everyone who is listening to us. Good luck to you. And
Thank
thank you
you.
very much for this wonderful interview.
Thank you so much, Nino, for being for giving your time today, and all the best for all the initiatives that you're doing. All the best for the conference that is coming up in May, and I'm hopeful, and I'm sure that you will be instrumental in bringing a lot of economic development in your country.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and you have great day ahead.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.